Hey, hello. Welcome to a journey through history. Today we explore a conflict that reshaped East Asia and the global orders, the Korean War. The war which erupted almost 74 years ago is officially described in China as resisting American and aiding Korea, a mission to defend the homeland. Imbued with the grand significance of the national rejuvenation. But is the historical truth so straightforward? Let's leave the vow in tracing the war's origin, China's role, and the international maneuvering behind it to uncover the hidden facts. In this first episode, we focus on the war's outbreak and China's decision to intervene, the origins of the Korean War, the Kim Il-sung's ambitions, and the roles of China and the Soviet Union. On June 25, 1950, a large-scale conflict erupted on the Korean Peninsula. North Korean leader Kim Il-sung, backed by the Soviet leader Joseph Stalin, launched a sudden invasion of South Korea, aiming to unify the peninsula by force. This war was not as described vulgarly in the Chinese Communist Party (CCP), the historical accounts, simply the outbreak of a Korean Civil War, but rather a deliberate act of aggression by North Korea against the South. According to the Soviet archives, declassified in the 1990s, Kim Il-sung had been proposing an invasion of South Korea to Stalin as early as 1949. Initially, Stalin rejected the idea, fearing North Korea's military weakness and the risk of escalating into a border conflict. However, by early 1950, shifts in the international landscape, such as the U.S. withdrawal of troops from South Korea, and the U.S. Secretary of State Dan Anderson's speech on the Pacific Defense Line, which excluded South Korea and Taiwan from America's defense perimeter, prompted Stalin to reassess the situation, concluding that supporting Kim's plan was a manageable risk. China played a significant role before the war's outbreak. Kim Il-sung saw support not only from the Soviet Union but also from CCP leader Mao Zedong, which while Mao was not directly involved in planning the war, he was fully aware of Kim's intention to unify Korea. Between 1949 and 1950, Kim made a multiple visit to China to secure backing. So Mao believed the timing was premature. He expressed a willingness to assist Korea in the future. More crucially, between March and April 1950, China transferred 3 elite Korean ethnic division from the People's Liberation Army to North Korea, integrating them into the Korean People's Army, which became the backbone of the Kim's invasion force. When the war broke out, the Korean People's Army advanced rapidly, capturing Seoul within 3 days and controlling over 95% of the peninsula within a month. So South Korean forces were pushed back to the Pusan perimeter. Those events demonstrate that North Korea held the initiative, contradicting the CCP's historical insinuation of a South Korean invasion or American instigation. Second, Americans' response and the UN intervention. The outbreak of the Korean War caused the United States off guard. On June 27, 1950, President Harry Truman ordered U.S. forces to support South Korea and dispatched the 7th Fleet to the Taiwan Strait. This move was interpreted by the CCP as an invasion of Taiwan, but reality was far different. Declassified U.S. documents revealed that the Truman administration's primary goal was to contain the spread of communism in Asia, not to attack China. The U.S. viewed the Soviet Union as a main threat, and the Korean War was designated a naming war. The 7th Fleet's mission was to prevent escalation between the two sides of the Taiwan Strait, blocking both Chinese Communist attack on Taiwan and the military action from Taiwan against the mainland. Truman even rejected a proposal from the 次航凯袁世凯陈凯下 to send 33,000 troops to fight in Korea, aiming to avoid boarding the conflict. In July 1950, the United Nations Security Council passed a resolution to form a UN command to aid South Korea. U.S. Far East Commander General Doug MacArthur was appointed as the commander. On September 15, UN forces landed at Incheon, reversing the tide of the war, swiftly recaptured Seoul, and advancing north across the 38th parallel. So this move sparked controversy. The U.S. aimed to destroy North Korea's military capability, not to invade mainland China. MacArthur even optimistically declared that the troops would be home by Christmas, signaling no intention of occupying or attacking China. Third, Mao's decision to intervene, a pledge of allegiance or strategic calculation. As UN forces approached the China-North Korean border, Mao Zedong faced a critical decision. On October 19, 1950, 260,000 Chinese people volunteered secretly crossed the Yalu River, officially entering the war. The CCP described this as defending the homeland and resisting aggression, but historians offer a different perspective. Sen Zihua, an expert on China-Soviet relations, notes that Mao pushed for intervention, despite oppositions from the key figure like Lin Bao, driven by deeper motives. In February 1950, the signing of the Sino-Soviet Treaty of Friendship, Alliance, and Mutual Assistance had led to a Soviet withdrawal from the North China, straining Sino-Soviet ties. The Korean War became Mao's opportunity to prove his loyalty to Stalin. Sen argues that Mao saw intervention as a pledge of allegiance to secure Soviet trust and support, positioning China as a leader in Asian revolutionary movements. Moreover, Mao assessed that the U.S. was unlikely to escalate the war, emboldening his decision. Early in the conflict, Mao had proposed sending Chinese troops to Korea 3 times, even suggesting they were the Korean People's Army uniform. But Stalin rejected those ideas. It was not until Kim Jong-un's defeat at Pyongyang that Stalin approved Chinese intervention, hinting that if China did not act, North Korea may establish a government in exile. On October 25, Chinese forces clashed with the UN troops for the first time at Ansan, securing a victory. This day was designated as the anniversary of China's interest into the war. However, the cost of intervention was immense. China suffered far greater casualties than its adversary and was labeled an aggressor by the international community. Conclusion. This concludes the first episode. We uncover the origin of the Korean War, China's role, and the complex motives behind the Mao's decision to intervene. The war not only altered the fate of the Korean Peninsula, but also profoundly impact China's international standing and domestic development. In the next episode, we will dive into the cost China's paid, the UN's designation of China as an aggressor, and how the war reshaped Asia's geopolitical landscape. Thank you so much.